Rachel Downs. I'm a junior nursing student, and this is Blair doing bed bath and hygiene care.
Okay. And I'm going to read this scenario. It's on this little thing. It says, enter patient's room and follow red rules. Demonstrate a complete bed bath on your diabetic female patient with dentures. Your patient verbalizes the need to avoid. Assist the patient with elimination. Your patient's colostomy bag is full, please empty. So that was the scenario. And so first, I'm going to start with cleaning her dentures. I would take them out and put them in the solution and let them soak while I'll clean her mouth. So I would put some Listerine or some cleaning solution in here for her. And then I would clean at the top of her mouth, around her tongue, around the roof of her mouth, and make sure it was all clean. Okay, so that looks clean. And then I would take this and put this back here. And then after the dentures were done soaking, I would take them out and put them back in her mouth. And then I'm going to start with cleaning her first. And so I'm going to make a little mitten out of my washcloth, and then I'm going to start and wipe her from her eye, from the inner canthus out. And then I'm going to do her face. And then behind her ears. And I'm going to do her neck. Okay? And then I would do her arm. And then my assistant Blair is going to help me dry her off. And then when I would do her arms, I would start from her fingertips up, making sure to get underneath her elbows, on the top of her shoulders, underneath her arms, and all the way up. And then I would dry her off. And then I would also do the other arm. So I'm going to cover her arm back up. And then I'm going to move on to her chest. And now we're just going to put a towel underneath her, over top of her, and move this down just to maintain her privacy. And then I would wipe up top, around her shoulders, and the top of her breasts, and underneath her breast. And then I'll dry that off. And then pull this down. And then I would do her abdomen, making sure to get all around and in her umbilicus area. Make sure she was clean. And then I would roll this and then wipe it up. And then pull this back up under her back towel. And then next I would move on to a leg. And then roll this over, put this underneath her, and roll this underneath there to still keep her privacy. And I wouldn't soak her feet because she is diabetic, and I'd be very careful around the ankle and feet area, just because since she's diabetic she might have a lot of sores. And then I would wipe from up here, and then all the way up, making sure to get under her knee. Okay, then I'd pat it dry. And then we're done with that leg. And then I'd cover that back up. Then I'd also do the other leg. And then we're going to do perineum. So I would roll this up. And then pull her legs up. And then I would go from the top, around the sides, making sure to go top to bottom, around her labial folds, making sure everything was clean. Okay, and then dry it off. And then since we've done that, pull this down. And down here. So we've cleaned her off, and she's all clean and dry, and so the patient just says, oh, not yet, I have to do her back. Okay. So then my patient will assist me in rolling her over. Okay. And cheeks, starting from one cheek and going down and up, and then the other one. Now do the middle. And I pat this dry, making sure she was all clean. Oh, but after I did the perineum, I would change the water before I did the neck and butt to maintain sanitation throughout her. And then next she says that she has to void. So I'm going to get the bedpan and my assistant's going to help me roll her over. I'm going to put this underneath her and roll her over, and then I would have her in a reclining position normally, and then I would situate this to where it was comfortable and sit right underneath her. Okay. And then I would pull this down. And then I would tell her that I'm going to exit the room so that she could have time to feel free to void without any pressure of me being here, and then I would leave the call bell. And whenever she was done, she would press the call bell, and I would come, and I would say, okay, Miss White, I'm going to lift this underneath you and have this, and then if there was any fecal matter, I would wipe this with a wet towel or something clean, and then I would dispose of this and clean it. And then I would do her ostomy, and then I'll pull this down and this up.
Oops. Sorry.
It's okay. And then this comes closed, and I would get this and unfold her ostomy bag and let whatever was inside drain into this measuring cup. And then I would measure however many fluids of cc's were in here. And then I would set this, and I would clean this off. Clean this off and roll this back up. Make sure the clamp was firmly on. Okay. And then I would pull this down and then roll this back up. And then I forgot to mention it at the beginning, but I would ask her name or her date of birth. And she told me that her name was Miss White, and I'm going to look on the side of her band. It says Betty White, and her date of birth is correct with what's on the side, so that I know that I have the right patient. And then I believe that's it for check off.